gladiator, prepared for war. I'm a gladiator that will never fall. I'm a gladiator, so I gotta stand tall. Gladiators fight with their backs against the wall. I'm a gladiator, prepared for war. I'm a gladiator that will never fall. I'm a gladiator.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is going to be contested under advanced amateur rules. The difference being they are three-minute rounds, no shin pads, and punching in the face on the ground is permitted. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the vacant amateur Gladiators of the Cage Middleweight Championship of the World. First introducing from the red corner, he weighed in at 185 pounds, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall with a reach of 70 inches. His record is 4 wins, 2 losses. He fights out of Noel Smith Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Pasadena, Maryland. Welcome, Michael Santini!
I really like Michael Santini in this fight. I want to see him pull something out. And his opponent,
fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 185 pounds, standing 6 feet tall, a reach of 72 inches, an undefeated record of 3 wins, no losses. He fights out of Damage Inc. He's from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Brandon Lux. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our referee, Jimmy Chapman.
I think that's pretty obvious here. Brandon Lux is getting all the cheers from the crowd. Lux looking fit and tan in the cage tonight.
Lux does striking very, very well. With Michael Santini fighting out of Noel Smith Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we have to ask, is a solid ground game, a very, very good ground game, the answer to Lux's game? I mean, a good ground war really take Lux to places he hasn't been yet.
We will soon find out. Santini with the double leg, a low shot. Climbing for mount. Passing now to side mount, and Lux is on the fence. Santini doing a real good job of controlling Lux's legs. I like that jiu-jitsu right there.
I'm not saying that Lux is in trouble, but I mean, it's certainly not. This wasn't where the fight where Lux wants to be. Lux wants to be trading hands. And
and the dump by Santini.
Excellent. Brandon Lux knows he needs to correct here. He needs to get back up to his vertical base.
Absolutely. Santini appears to have him right where he wants him, on his back and away from that fence.
True story about Brandon Lux. Brandon Lux fought in January of 2013.
Santini working for a north-south choke.
Brandon Lux fought an opponent that opponent did not throw a single strike throughout the entire fight. Lux got agitated, started throwing some nice taekwondo.
Santini vicious with his submission attempts, now going for a guillotine. He doesn't appear to have the neck isolated. He needs to get both arms around only the neck to finish his submission.
He wants to get Lux's arm out of that equation.
And a knee to the belly by Santini, and another double leg attempt on the fence.
All right, we do need to iterate. These are advanced amateur rules. It means the things that were legal in the strict amateur rules no longer apply. They can strike to the head. They no longer have to wear the shin guards. The rounds are a little bit longer, and it's a title fight.
Absolutely, and a title fight it will be. Santini on the ground, going for a low leg takedown.
Grant, I kind of question, did Lux have a good ground game? And I'm seeing Lux pulling off a chin pick. I think Brandon Lux might have done some wrestling in his younger days.
I would really like to see what Santini is going to look like after the end of this round with all of the energy exasperating takedown attempts he's been shooting.
Lux is doing a fair job of not only stuffing the takedowns, but using his strikes to his advantage when he gets into an advantageous position.
Absolutely. Now, the little pot shots that Lux is taking right now on Santini may not look like they hurt, but I guarantee you he's feeling them, and they are affecting his pattern of breathing.
And they're scoring points, too.
Absolutely. Lux has his back on the fence. Look for him to wall walk and get it back onto his feet.
I can tell you that Brandon Lux has never been put on the ground this long in his entire fight career. I think Noel Smith had a plan, and he's executing very well.
Santini holding down Lux and imposing his will.
Lux has an open guard. I imagine it's only a matter of time before Santini tries to pass.
Lux surprisingly not closing his guard, perhaps looking for a butterfly sweep. And the sweep is there.
Very nice call, Grant. That was good.
Lux now on top in half guard.
If history tells us anything, Grant, Lux is trying to get back up to his base.
And the bell.
Like I was going to say, Lux is going to try to get back up to his base. He's going to get back in his wheelhouse. He's going to try to strike.
I will say that was one very surprising first round between Brandon Lux and Michael Santini.
So we are in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and it is important to note that Michael Santini is Brad Machine Gun Mountain in his corner. Mountain is a fairly big name here in the Johnstown, Altoona area, and it's good to see a local boy training with someone out of Pasadena, Maryland.
World-class striking is all I've heard. World-class striking.
Well, I don't think anyone naturally brawls the way Brad Mountain does. So if you're going to go up against a striker like Brandon Lux, you've already got a ground game, Brad Mountain might just be the guy you want in your corner.
Absolutely. And both fighters looking fairly fresh in their corner. Lux is not even taking a seat.
I talked to Brandon Lux last time we fought, and I said, Brandon, your fights rarely go out of the first. You train them that way. He's like, no, I train for 9-minute wars. I train my cardio, I keep pushing me. It's just lucky I get the fights to end the way they do.
And that is the way you should do it. The second round beginning.
Brandon Lux in the dethroned shorts, white gloves. Michael Santini in the camo shorts with the black trim.
The referee's currently cleaning up a little bit of an ice spill on the mat.
Referee, of course, being Mr. Jim Chappell.
Don't want any fighters slipping and injuring themselves outside of the fight.
No, and it happens on the bigger stage. You see ice bags break open, and referees have to make sure that that fighting surface is clean, that no one's going to slip and potentially hurt themselves, that the fight is fair at all times.
This is why I love cage fighting. Ice, no good. Blood, it goes. The second round is off. Low kick by Lux. Another leg kick by Lux. Both fighters are bouncing and awake.
I think Lux now needs to know he needs to use his limbs.
Oh, and a beautiful shot.
Lux knows that he needs to use his limbs to keep Santini at a distance, to take that shot away from him as a weapon.
Santini relentless with the takedown attempts. This is a position we've seen all through the first round. Santini with Lux's back against the fence.
Grant, at what point do you realize that shot's ineffective and you're wasting too much energy on it?
Now, I would agree with you, but it looks to me like Santini is doing some very effective foot stomps and knees to his opponent's knee. That doesn't feel good.
If he keeps kneeing Brandon Lux in the thigh, Brandon Lux cannot stand. If Brandon Lux cannot stand, he cannot use his striking game.
And he definitely cannot throw those low kicks he was just landing. Santini with the dump, and he is now on top in guard.
Brandon Lux posting on the head. It looks like he might be trying for an omoplata, possibly a gogoplata.
Looking for the omoplata. The leg is passing the head.
If he pulls that foot underneath the chin of Santini, we got a gogoplata.
Lux needs to lock down the right leg of Santini in order to keep him from rolling out of this submission attempt.
Lux fighting hard, Santini. You have to think, Santini training out of Noel Smith Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he has to have an answer for this. And, well, now he's back in Lux's open guard.
Santini is appearing unbelievably confident on the ground. Absolutely no concern whatsoever for Lux's jiu-jitsu, and it doesn't even seem that he's too concerned with his striking or his wrestling abilities either.
What I appreciate is Lux is keeping incredibly calm. Santini's staying confident on the ground, but Lux is staying calm.
This could prove to be a determining factor as far as the stamina of each fighter goes.
Well, we're already making history. Brandon Lux has successfully been introduced to the second round.
Lux with a Kimura attempt. The crowd calling for a stand-up. I don't think it's going to happen.
Michael Santini is doing a great job of improving this position. Brandon Lux is doing a great job defending. I don't think it would make sense to stand him up right now.
I like what Lux is doing. He's relaxing, he's landing his punches, he's causing damage, and he's earning points. It's not good for him to be on his back. I really think he should close up that guard and quit being passed.
Jim Chappell stands him up.
And the stand-up. Santini looking winded.
Oh, Lux doing a great job picking those strikes.
Brandon Lux is throwing punches at will.
Brandon Lux has a reach advantage over Michael Santini, and he knows he needs to put it to work right now.
Santini once again with Lux on the fence.
10 seconds left in the round, Grant.
Can he get the takedown and score the points before the end of the round? Looking for the dump. And he's got it. Beautiful, right in time.
Grant Berger, that is how you end a round.
I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's almost as if he knew he had to clinch that one to clinch the round.
That scored big points in the judges' eyes.
I've got it 2-1 for Santini right now. I'm not so sure about you, Albert, but that's how I see it.
I got it round 1 Lux, I got it round 2 Santini.
Absolutely. The beautiful ring girls of Gladiators of the Cage.
Grant, we are 180 seconds away from having a brand new middleweight champion crowned here at Gladiators of the Cage.
Absolutely, and we've already surpassed the longest fight that Brandon Lux has had in his entire career.
Yes, we did. Michael Santini and Brandon Lux. I think that round was a little hard on him. That was a tough round for them, but other guys are really sucking win.
I'm watching Brandon Lux right now, and he is not gassed whatsoever. I expect him to come out with his hands blazing to get on to a tired Michael Santini.
Brad Mountain and the No Smith Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu team getting Michael Santini ready to finish the fight. I think both of these guys know that this fight has to be stopped if they're going to control the outcome.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. The beginning of the third round. Both fighters are going to go for broke.
Fans from the crowd calling for Lux to knock Santini out.
Both fighters trading low kicks.
Yeah, that almost reminded me of the movie Bloodsport, where Jean-Claude Van Damme and the kickboxer trading kicks. That was very similar.
Heat-seeking punches here by Brandon Lux, landing most punches recently on Santini's face.
Lux is doing a great job of setting up a 1-2 combo and capitalizing with an uppercut.
I think we can see right now Santini's takedown attempts are getting a little bit slower, a little bit more dull. I think he may be gassed.
Right now, they're still effective. If the next shot or two, I can't promise they're going to be that effective.
One of the beautiful things about the fact that we're using advanced amateur rules in this bout is that anything can happen at any time. There could still be a submission pulled off by Santini. There could still be a knockout by Santini. They could ground and pound, knees to the head. No knees to the head.
Between the rounds, I noticed that Michael Santini had a little bit extra crimson in his mouth. He might have had a little bit opened up, but there's no facial cut. So, I mean, he's weathering the storm very, very well. He's really taking it to Lux.
Absolutely. Santini grinding out a very hard fight for him tonight. Knees to every part of Brandon Lux's body. Kneecap, shoulder, arms. Lux once again punishing from the top.
I'm telling you what, Grant, the road to glory certainly came down 22 and it ended up in Johnstown here tonight. This has been a great title fight so far.
I'm unbelievably impressed with this fight. Santini is really showing me and everyone what kind of guts he has here tonight. Santini with the full mount. Full mount.
Brandon Lux is having none of that. He's trying to get back to a vertical base. I tell you what, Grant, if this fight goes the full 3 minutes this round, I do not envy our judges in attendance tonight because I couldn't judge this round if my life depended on it.
Absolutely not. I do believe Santini's getting the point advantage due to all the takedowns and the top control, although Lux has been landing a number of shots from the top and from the guard.
Some very effective shots, especially when he's standing. He's going for that Kimura again.
And Santini is looking very, very hard for that mount. I think he wants to unleash some ground and pound here in the third.
We got some shots almost in the kidney region there from Santini.
Absolutely. Both fighters grinding out with Lux on the bottom and his head against the fence.
I'm not sure what the dietary supplement for either fighter was, but quit is clearly not in the regimen.
Knees to the midsection by Santini.
10 seconds left in the fight. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this fight's going to the judges.
Both fighters. And that is it, folks. Michael Santini versus Brandon Lux has come to a conclusion. We will get a judge's decision out of this one.
Santini's very, very confident he won that fight.
I'd like to have a talk with Santini after this fight and ask him about his mild-mannered nickname.
That's a very good question. The man I saw tonight fight Brandon Lux was not mild by any stretch of the imagination. He had a will to fight, he went out there and he executed.
Absolutely, a tremendous show of wrestling and jiu-jitsu by Santini. Tremendous cardio on the part of both fighters. I believe that Santini took it, but I can't be sure. Lux had a very, very hard job ahead of him as far as keeping the distance and range for his punches, as well as defending the takedown.
I think Santini did a great job of ending every round the way he wanted it to be, with a high-impact maneuver. the slams, the dumps, ending on top. I mean, that's what you need to score points in the judge's eyes.
Absolutely. Santini did a very good job of dictating where the fight took place tonight. Waiting for the judge's decision for Santini and Lux.
A great show of respect from both corners. We got Damage Inc. going over and congratulating Santini. Noel Smith, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, going over and congratulating Damage Inc. That is what I love about Pennsylvania mixed martial arts. We have warriors with class.
I couldn't agree with you more. And now back to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. All three judges have scored this fight 29-28 for a very close unanimous decision for fighting out of the red corner, Michael Santini!
Michael Santini with a big win tonight over Brandon Lux.
I said I didn't want to judge the fight. I feel like he
amateur,
absolutely.
in the cage,
fought a very
middleweight
hard
champion
fight.
of the world,
A lot of punches landed and a lot of
Santini.
takedowns landed. I have to say Santini controlled where the fight took place, and for that, he gets the win.
A very hard-fought and well-deserved win. This has to be crushing for Brandon Lux, though. To his first loss and in his hometown, especially in a title fight. But those are the kind of losses that make you come back stronger for your next go-round.
Absolutely, and I have no doubt that the support given to him by Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and the MMA scene here is beyond reproach.
Prepared you well. That was a close decision. How tough was he?
He caught me in the, I think it was the first, right in the eye. That was a pretty good shot. He had some pretty decent kicks. I think I neutralized him well because I kind of didn't throw him as much as he did before. But he's a tough challenge. I know he'll get better. I'm going to keep getting better. And thank everybody for coming out here. I'd like to give a shout out to Noel Smith, BJJ, and my good friends at K's and MMA who helped prepare me for everything. And a nice shout out to No Limits Boxing in Reisterstown. Thank you guys.
Let's hear it for our new champion, Michael Santini! Now let's go back to Albert and Grant.
Prepared for war, I'm a gladiator that will never fall. I'm a gladiator, so I gotta stand tall. Gladiators fight with their backs against the wall. I'm a gladiator, prepared for war, I'm a gladiator that will